What's going on? This one is for the fellas. This is Chris from the Dating Doc. Please like and subscribe, like any YouTuber says, right? If you want some unbiased dating news and advice, it's not just men against women or women against men. It is dating advice, news, and commentary that's balanced. So click like and subscribe. That motivates me. I do check the analytics. And guess what? I'm not the type that's going to make some outlandish thumbnail to grab your attention. I just give it to you straight. So, what am I going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about how no game is the game. Okay. And I got this from one of my date coaching clients where they said, hey, I've been going to church, I've been going to the mall, I've been going to the coffee shop, and I just can't find the right kind of woman. And I asked them, why are you going to the coffee shops, to the gym, to the grocery store, etc.? He tells me, well, hopefully I can get the attention of a woman. I said, no, stop. You're wrong. Okay. Quit that mentality. Like, first and foremost, what you got to do. Okay. I'm going to keep this video very efficient so you can use it and apply it. Okay. But here's the irony: what you're about to apply is not applying. Okay. Hold that thought with me. So I ask him, why do you go to the gym, all these places, right? Church, etc. I'm hoping I can attract the attention of a woman. Why do you go to church? Okay. I get it. Okay. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, as a man who sometimes, not all the time, goes to church, there's a lot of temptation in there. Okay. We know when a woman's all got the those waist pinching dresses, right? I know they ain't going in there for that reason. Hopefully not. I'm out there to pray, I'm out there to practice fellowship and look inward, but sometimes, I get tempted to look outward, right? But that's not the reason why I go to church. When I get in my car and I'm driving towards church, my what I'm thinking is, hey, I want to be blessed that I can make it on time, that I can make it safe, and I cannot wait to hear the message, right? The sermon or the mass if I'm going to a Catholic church, because I do practice both. If I'm going to a coffee shop, okay, when I was younger, I was like my date coaching client. When I was younger, I'd say, ooh, I hope I get to meet some, septum ring wearing hipster looking chick, right? That's going to look at me and I could engage in conversation with her. That was my primal mindset, my primary and primal mindset. Now, when I go to a coffee shop, I say, look, I've got to finish this book that I'm reading. So I hope to read 50 pages and I want to try a different type of coffee when I get in there. Okay. That is it. That is it. Okay. Same thing with the gym. Matter of fact, I'm even more disciplined at the gym. Some guys are out there looking for those, those, I'm talking about, like hugging all up in them areas, kind of shorts wearing woman, and they hope that they can get their attention and whatnot. First off, gym is my zen. If I mess it up with a woman, I've got to go back to that gym, and best believe I'm not going to move gyms because of a woman, right? But some guys go in there for that reason. And I get it. I understand. Okay. I know Gen Z has this gym culture where they'd rather play on the phone and set up a tripod and treat, a gym, high rocks, whatever, like it's a mingling type of thing going on. Okay. Not me. When I go to the gym, I go to the gym to go to the gym. Then it's, by the way, if a woman grabs my attention, I will engage. If I go to a coffee shop and I'm like, I'm going to go read, that takes a lot of self discipline to say, I'm going to read and not just look for some yams. Okay. That's the issue with some of these guys. Some of y'all are gooning so bad that you can't focus on life. You cannot enjoy the rest of life because you're too busy making every little point about being on the make. Okay. And for y'all new school folks, on the make means basically you're out trying to find a woman. Like, that is your whole function in life. If you go to a grocery store, entertain yourself and say, I'm going to get 2 to 4 different products. I'm going to eat healthier. How am I going to eat healthier? Okay. Oh, by the way, if a woman crashes her cart into mine, I'm going to be like, you know what? If it wasn't for the fact you gave me that awkward smile, I would have sued you right now, right? And then get that good laughing going. Okay. If you're one of these real awkward ladies, they're like, oh my gosh, I hope you don't sue me, right? And then they get you on TikTok or something, and then they flip the script. Anyways, guys, This takes self-discipline. Okay. I have too many guys that come to me and say, where do I go meet girls? Where do I go meet girls? Live life first. Be so confident that you can live the rest of your life. Don't go out there. The only thing you want to do is meet a woman. So every little thing, I'm gonna go to Target to meet a girl. I'm gonna go to a coffee shop. I'm gonna go to an anime store. I'm gonna do this just to see if I meet a girl. Like, what kind of dependent on gooning kind of man are you? You have to be independent. You have to break the chains from just thinking you've got to chase after it. Okay. I'm telling you right now, the game is no game. And what I mean by this is not lacking skill, lacking confidence, is that you don't think about it. The less you think about it, the more smooth and natural you're going to be about it. And it's not a performative smooth. It's not performative when you go to a coffee shop and read, okay? Because you actually want to do that. You want to develop yourself. You want to read a book. There's so many books out there, and we're stuck on doom scrolling and video games. Whatever you do right now in life, make that your primary interest, whatever it is, okay? I'm going to go to the gym and hopefully I can breathe better after a couple weeks. So I'm doing more cardio or I'm trying to get my gains. But don't say I'm going to get my gains when I get a woman, because what ends up happening, some of y'all fall off the tracks when you get into a relationship because the mindset was off. Now you're thinking, oh, damn, I was going to the gym and meet a woman. It happened. Now I'm not as motivated because I want to just be with her all the time. Okay. And guess what? She might not be on your workout program or vice versa. Maybe you only went to the gym until you met her and you weren't with it. So you're actually faking your own life so you could focus on this other stuff that in the end, you're still stuck with some chains. You're being a slave to your own mindset if all you're doing is chasing after that. So I know it sounds like I kind of repeated myself a couple times there, but you got to get in your brains. Go live life. There's a lot of life to be lived. And who cares if they judge you and they say, why isn't this man checking me out at the gym? Why is this guy drinking wine in the corner somewhere at a nice steak restaurant? Yeah, maybe because I'm celebrating life. I'm celebrating some small wins. And I don't care what kind of woman goes up to me or if I go up to a woman or not. Why is this man all of a sudden going to the grocery store and circumstantially, because he happens to be sampling one of the demos, I want to meet this guy because it looks like he is very self dependent and he's not just gooning looking around. And I'm gonna leave you with this little last part. When you do it fake, you give off the worst kind of energy that woman can pick up on. Okay. When you are just making everything about being on the chase, woman will pick up on that and be like, man, this guy is like, he's giving off weak energy because you're dependent on their attention instead of living your life. Does that make sense? All right. Keep in mind, women are about 3 to 5 times more receptive than us. So when you're like, ooh, I'm getting anxious because she's hot, who cares? Grab your coffee order, read your book, enjoy it, look up every now and then, but love life, live life. All right. So, hey, this is Chris from the Dating Doc. Hopefully, you are understanding what I'm saying. You could apply it. Game is no game. Okay. That's what it is. So, if you enjoyed the video, you enjoy my style, it's very raw, authentic. I'm not out here trying to be all like, hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the dating. None of that bullshit. Okay. This is all just keeping it real and just giving you some usable advice for your life and dating. So, click like and subscribe. This is Chris from the Dating Doc. Take care.